What's going on, people? What's going on, people? Let me know if I'm good, man. Give me the thumbs up if you can hear me. If you can see me, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Oh man, I see you guys are rolling in already. We got 25 people in the building already. Yeah, man. I listen. I hate losing by a field goal. Nothing. There's nothing worse. Nothing worse than losing by a field goal, in my opinion, man. A lot of things to unpack. I'm not going to be here for a long time. We're going to keep it short. We're going to wrap this game up a little bit, but shout out to the people that are in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Losing by a field goal hurts, man. I'm going to say this right now, man. Shane Bowen reminds me of Patrick Graham, the bend but don't break. But at the end of the day, this game is won if we had a healthy kicker on the field. If we had a healthy kicker on the field, this game is not even a problem. This game is won. And yeah, we can blame a lot of people. But also all, Neighbors had a fantastic game. That last catch, I'm not going to say that wipes everything away. He had a fantastic game. He was a go-to guy. He got his first touchdown as an NFL player. So shout out to Neighbors for a hard fought game. But man, that hurts, man. That hurts. Yeah, I hate losing that way. And the funny thing is, when you get blown out, you have time to process it, and then you can just laugh about it. This one, yeah, it still hurts. It's lingering a little bit. Let me shout out some of the people that are in here. My man TG1 says that game is on Dable. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. My man 59 Ways to Groove says nobody can blame number 8. That's a fact. He had a fantastic game today. Offensive line had a fantastic game today, too, for the most part. Yes, you can't blame 8 for this one. Absolutely. Johnny Lovely also says this is all on Dable with the exclamation points. I think he has 4 of them, 5 of them, maybe. Yeah, man, it's a lot of things to unpack, man. That opening kickoff, man. That opening kickoff, when they broke it, even though it was a flag on that play, Graham's Gano, I understand it's a hustle play. You're the kicker. You want to be able to be the last line of defense, but you know that your groin is already, ailing you. And for you to, yeah, man, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. My man, nicking around says only the Giants can lose games like this. It feels that way. It does feel that way. 59 Ways to Groove said defense yeah, we got carved up, man. We got carved up. That bend but don't break. I put out a tweet. I said I'm having heart palpitations over this, over this defense, man. Like we get all the way into the red zone. They got these long drives. We can't get off the field on third down. Penalties in the worst at the worst points in the game. Penalties killed us in this game too, as far as the defense goes. But you know what? When we were dialing up some of the pressure, when Bowen was dialing pressure and getting pressure, he was able, we were able to get there. Jaden Daniels is a fantastic athlete. If Jaden Daniels isn't Jaden Daniels, the New York Giants probably have about 10 sacks on this game, man. And a lot of those drives that, that continued would have stopped. We would have got off the field. Jaden Daniels, fantastic athlete, man. But guess the Giants earned this game, though, man. Even though we lost this game, we earned this, we earned this victory, man. And it just sucks for it to happen the way that it happened. They kicked all field goals and beat us. 21 points full of field goals, man. We scored 3 touchdowns, but we can't get the extra points, and we lose the game. That is a very Giants way to lose. But guess what, though? I will take a competitive game over a blowout any day of the week. I hate to lose. Like I hate losing this way, but I'll take a competitive game over just getting blown out for 4 quarters, any day, any given Sunday. Let's get back to these comments. Pim says, I don't ever think I saw anything like this before. Nah, listen, you're a Giants fan. You've lost by field goals before. Not quite in this manner, but yeah, we got a long history of losing by field goals. That's a fact. TG1 says, you have a kicker with the bad groin. Why not sit him till next week? That's it right there. That's it right there. As soon as Gano is on that injury report, you should have brought. We have another kicker on the practice squad. You bring him up. Why take that chance? And then we got Gilliam We got Gilliam trying to kick and he misses, wide right. It's just a bad look. And then I'm hearing at halftime he's making 50-yarders practicing, and we don't try to do it, man. Listen, it is what it is. I understand not having that confidence. If we get 2-point conversions too, that's something that we could have did. But yo, man, that hurts. It hurts, man. Omega Supreme in the building. Shout out to Omega. He says we effing lost to 7 field goals. Yeah, that's absolutely a Giants way to lose. I will say this. I put out a tweet earlier today, and I said, if the Giants lose this game, and I put up a gif of Bane from Batman, like entering the stadium and tearing it up. That's how I felt. But losing in this fashion took a little bit of the steam off, because I did see some good in this game. The offense played pretty well. We moved the ball. Malik Neighbors come out party. Andrew Phillips had himself a game. Had himself a very good game. I hate that he got hurt later on, but he did come back in the game. So hopefully it's not something that's too serious. He did come back, so maybe not. But Andrew Phillips had himself a game today, for sure. Danny Correa says, Jesus help me. Jesus can't believe we are now 0-2. Yeah, we're now 0-2. What we said could not happen has happened. Going into the season, we said no matter what, we cannot start 0-2. Some people said we can go 2-0, but no, here I am. What is it today, saying that the New York Giants are 0-2 in this season already. Shout out to thumbs up. Let me catch up to the chat. Oh boy, Danny Correa, it's not time for that one. We can't blame him today. Trade Daniel Jones. We need a new quarterback. We can't blame him today for this one. So it is what it is. But we can't blame Daniel Jones for today. Not gonna do that. Matt Custom says, "Bro, I'm sick. Yeah, I'm sick too, man. The one game I had my son sitting with me the whole time almost, man. Usually they get up by like the first quarter and leave. They like the way we were playing today. They actually sat down a little bit longer to watch this game. And then, of course, what we do, we lose it at the end in the most Giants fashion ever. We got going on. Sleazy says it doesn't matter. We lost to the Commanders, and and they didn't score a touchdown. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's the part that's amazing to me. Like, you got to really have some bad luck, man. You really got to be down bad if you score 3 touchdowns and you lose to a team that didn't score a single touchdown. That is some bad hoodoo right there. I don't know what we need to do to try to get this thing turned around. Actually, I got a couple ideas, but yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But like I said, as far as the game, not the outcome, but as far as the game on the offensive side, I think we did pretty well. I think JMS, and this is off of first watch, I think JMS did a good job. I think JMS did a good job today. He needed a good game under his belt. The offensive line needed a decent game under his belt. But there's a couple of plays that stand out to me that you can say really cost us a game. You can't blame it all on one play. You can't blame it on just the Malik Neighbors drop. But that fumble by Devin Singletary, when we were pushing right after the half, that fumble was big. That fumble was that was a big play right there. You had the momentum. You're moving into their territory, and that's just a big fumble that you can't have. And listen, it was a perfectly punched ball by St. Juice. One thing that I'll say to because I played running back, I played running back. One thing that we learned all the way back from Pop Warner is you keep the ball on the outside hand for those particular reasons. If it ever gets punched out, the chances are it goes out of bounds. He had that ball in his inside hand, and when they punched it, in the field of play, we turned that ball over. Disgusting work, man. Disgusting work. Shout out to Mr. Burton, said, Dash, my guy. What's going on, Mr. Burton? Listen, I'm already starting to get over this already, man. Because again, we played well. But you know what? Let's get into it. Let's get into it a little bit. I want to thumbs up, thumbs down. How do you feel about Shane Bowen and his defense right now? About how he's calling the games, not individual players. How the way that the New York Giants are playing defense right now. How do you guys feel about it? Thumbs up if you're good with it. Thumbs down if you're not liking what you're seeing on the defensive side, man. I'm gonna wait for some of those to come in before I start talking about that. Let me try to get caught up. And if I don't hit your comments, I apologize. It's been going crazy since I got in here. We got 102 people. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. But yeah, man, yeah, you guys are on fire right now in the chat, man. I'm trying to get caught up to the present. Yeah, so Loose Ben says Gano got hurt in warmups. Yeah, I saw that. I heard people say he got hurt in warmups, but he still was out there for that opening kick, and we saw what happened. Michael McVeigh says Burns and Thibodeau still missing in action. Yeah. Usually they have good. Well, usually Tibbs has a good game against the Washington Commanders. Again, this is all first watch. This is just my initial, reaction to the game. I'm gonna go back and watch it again with a little bit more, attention to detail, and see really how Tibbs and Burns did. But it's a lot of the same thing. When you need a play to happen, when you need a play, and you got a $30 million edge rusher, I don't care what they do on the offensive line. That guy needs to be making a play. We see it with Von Miller. We see it with TJ Watt. These guys are making those big dollars, and they make play time after time after time, no matter who's in front of them. Double team, triple team, these guys make plays. And right now, we're not getting that kind of action from our $30 million edge rusher. But again, it's a team game. I'm not blaming Burns at all. So don't even say that. I'm not blaming Burns at all for this loss, I should say. But you need these guys to step up, man. You need these guys to step up. Omega Supreme says, Gano got paid every time I play. Get the bag, they get hurt. Yeah, he did get paid, and he did get the bag, and yes, he got hurt. Listen, man. Again, that's on the coach. That's on Brian Dable, man. You got a kicker that's hurt, and you know that we're not known to score points, and we rely on the kicker a lot. You have to make that move. You have to sit him down. Yeah, you should have did that. You should have did that on Friday. He got hurt during warmups, but you make that move. We need a kicker that's healthy, because any little thing can happen. And we saw it on the first play of the game on the kickoff. They break it, and Gano's chasing after the returner, and then pretty much pop and falls off on the sideline. It was crazy. It's almost like he got picked off, Jason Bourne style, sniped, fell down like. And then you knew it was a wrap. I even put a tweet out. I'm like, yo, Gano is done. This is season number 2 where he's hurt, and we don't even know how serious this thing might be with him. I know he had the enthusiasm, enough enthusiasm to think he can try to get back into the game. Maybe Dable should have tried to kick it. Maybe he should have gave it a go. He decided not to do that. He didn't trust the kicker. Who knows what would have happened if we were able to get that field goal. So, yeah, a lot of this blame, man, is going to fall on the lap of Brian Dable, man. Outside of Shane Bowen and this horrible bend but don't break defense that's going on, what's going on right now with Brian Dable is his decision-making, and I praised him at the end of the second half when he went high pace, and we were able to get down the field and score points right before the half. That was our first successful 2-minute drill, and I don't know how long. We actually got a touchdown and not just a field goal going into the half. We build up that momentum. That was a great, set of plays or series of plays called by Brian Dable. Good execution by Daniel Jones in the offense. A lot of wide receivers got involved. Again, I can't say anything bad about Daniel Jones in this game. As much as we want to blame, I can't say anything bad about him. This game was all about special teams. And again, what can you do when you don't have a kicker? And then you rely on your punter to get your points as extra point. No, you can't do that. You go for 2. You're not successful on the 2-point conversions. It is what it is when it comes to that, man. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. Let's see what else we got here. I'm seeing a thumbs down for Bowen. Thumbs down for Bowen. I see it. Everybody with the thumbs down for Bowen. Yeah, man, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Shout out to everybody that's saying here. I see a lot of people saying, what's up, Mickey X, what's going on? There's a lot of people saying, what's up still? Yeah, man. This I would love to say that this loss hurts a lot. It sucks, but you guys let me know, man. How do you feel, man? Do you feel more let down with the type of game it was, or had we have gotten blown out, would you have, feel even worse about it? Shout out to Big Mike with the super chat. Big Mike says 0-2, time to clean house. Shout out to you, Big Mike. Appreciate the love and support, man. Says he Time to clean house. You know what? After this game, it is what it is, man. We didn't lose bad. We lost in a way that sucks, but we didn't lose bad. But again, a loss is a loss. No moral victories here. Talking Echo with the 4.99 super chat. Appreciate. He said Bobby Slowik. That's the offensive coordinator from. Is that hold on? Is that the one from? Yeah, that's the guy from the Texans. And Ray Agnew, get ready for your chance to fix the Giants starting in 2025. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's going to be the storylines tomorrow, man. That's going to be the storylines. Again, you guys are going crazy in the chat right now, man. Absolutely crazy in the chat. See if I can get caught up. Sydney says tank for a coach. Tank for coach. Tank for the coach. That's crazy right there. Okay, Talking Echo says, can we have this conversation? Is Dable a Wink Martindale and Saquon version? Ooh. I'll say this. The Saquon decision was not on Brian Dable. That was clearly something that Joe Shane needed to do and wanted to prove. I'll say that. And then Wink Martindale, the whole decision with Wink Martindale, you cannot have your DC being that disruptive. Even if you feel like, because I felt like Wink was the best coach that we had last year, as a whole. And he left, but on the terms of which he left, it's something that just had to happen. So I'm gonna say no to that question right now, man. I'll say no to that question right now. But again, when the Philadelphia Eagles play tomorrow and Saquon goes off for like another 3 touchdowns, I might feel different. OJ, what's going on? OJ says he's the only reason we were even in it. Who you talking about? Oh, you talking about Daniel Jones? I'm assuming OJ is talking about Daniel Jones here. My man Dwayne Murphy says Malik had 130 yards and DJ still only threw for 180. That's a fact. This just further proves DJ has to go. I didn't look at it that way. That's hilarious. He did throw for yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's funny. I didn't even think about it like that. That's absolutely funny. Here's a good question from Calvin Innswood. He says, where was Hyatt? Listen, man. When it comes to whatever doghouse Jalen Hyatt is in, somebody find the key so we can let him out. Somebody find the key. Wherever they buried Hyatt, we need to find a treasure map and find where they hit Hyatt so we can. Where is Waldo? Where is Hyatt? I don't know. I think I saw him on the field for maybe 3 snaps, man. Again, this is all for the first watch. I don't understand what's going on. We still doing a lot of heavy set, a lot of double tights. Don't understand that either, but they did commit to the running game today. I will say that they did commit to the running game, something that I asked them to do. But guess what? We were successful too when we committed to the running game, and Devin Singletary was able to get off. But again, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Mix Smooth, baby. That's a hell of a name. What's up, Dad? One thing out of this, I can't. One thing out of this, you can't point your finger at DJ. Absolutely. All right, Jacob, I'm not even going to try to butcher your last name, respectfully. Any NFL player has to catch a ball that hits you in the chest. Also, when it hits you in the hands. That's a fact. Again, that was a big drop. Malik Neighbors knew it. He knew it was a big drop. They came back from commercial. He was still mad. The Commanders was moving down the field. You see him on the sideline. He's still mad. And I don't blame him. He should be mad at himself. He's having a fantastic game. But the one catch that we had to have, the one catch that we absolutely had to have, got dropped. Young man, let him grow off that. Don't be too hard on him neither, because you know how social media get. We'll go to his Instagram, we'll pull up to his Twitter and go crazy. Let that man live, man. Because guess what? He dropped that ball, but at the end of the day, he's one of the reasons why we were in this game too. A lot of those button hooks, them short routes that he turned into yards after the catch. That's what it is when we get this. All right, my man Dwayne said, I'm sorry. It's up to the quarterback to sustain drives to keep the defense off the field. This is 100% still on Daniel Jones. Sound like you got a bone to pick, brother. Listen, I understand where you're coming from. I absolutely understand where you're coming from. There are a couple of throws that are head scratchers. They had that one crossing route by Malik Neighbors that Jones decided I'm not throwing the neighbors, even though it was a lot of green in front of him, and he decided to throw at Wan'Dale Robinson in triple coverage, and we didn't get the conversion. That was a big down. That was a big down. You got to make the right decisions 100% of the time. But again, who are we talking about? Talking about Daniel Jones at the end of the day. And for me, he did not have a terrible game at all. I think he actually played pretty well. Pretty well. Darius Slayton had a big drop too on that 2-point conversion. It hit him in the hands. It hit him in the hands. He got to come down with that. I know that throw was coming at him hot, but you got to come down with that for sure. You got to come down with that. Everybody take a break. Please take a break and hit that like button. Exit out of the chat really quickly. Go ahead and hit that like button, please. Well, I appreciate that, man. That'll get this video moving, man. I'm trying to crack that algorithm on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like button for me, please. My man Joe Castillo says, he says Hyatt over Slayton, or Hyatt greater than Slayton. Slayton, you know, yeah, man. You can't get Hyatt to develop if he's not on the field, man. I understand you're running a lot of 12 personnel and you're not running a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, but you got to get Hyatt on the field, man, and not on obvious plays where you know he's just going to run a go route or that 9 route or the deep dig or something like that. You got to really give him a chance. Oh, one other thing though, that I expected to see in the second half, we saw Malik Neighbors get a couple good catches on some hitches, and I'm sitting here like, okay, we keep hitting this hitch on with Malik Neighbors. I said at some point in time we're going to set up that double move against the cornerback. We never came back to it to get a chance to do it. Is that really a knock on Brian Dable? No, because the hitches, were working, but you can tell that he was trying to get that cornerback set up for the double move later on, but again, didn't have a chance to do that. Here we go. Hollywood Kai says that defensive play calling is trash. It is absolutely trash. I'm adding that little emphasis to your comment. Trash. Shane Bowen. Trash. Shane Bowen, man, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? OJ says Jones has to go, but blaming him today when the defense allowed the Commanders to score on every drive is insane. Yeah, almost every drive. Like, we can't get off the field on 3rd down to save our lives, and guess what happens? We die every time. Every time. Big 3rd down, they either convert or it's a penalty. The drive continues and ultimately turns into points. This is the same thing over and over again, not just this season, for the Giants. Not even this regime. You go back all the way to Tom Coughlin. Whenever we get a penalty after a big stop on 3rd down and that drive continues, it always ends up with points. And we saw that today. But again, shout out to the Washington Commanders. Well, not even shout out to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels saved that team from a butt whooping today. And he saved their coach Quinn from a nasty narrative, because if you lose to the Giants in this type of game where you don't get any touchdowns, they would have came for Quinn. They would have came for Cliff Kingsbury. But no, we bailed them out. The New York Football Giants bailed out the Washington Commanders today. I don't care what anybody says. You can say, we bailed them out, man. We bailed them out. That defense, come on. All that effort that Drew Phillips did. And, well, let me talk about just, I guess, a highlight of the game. Tyler Nubin and Drew Phillips are playmakers. They bring a different level of energy, a different level of fight. These guys are flying around. They're involved on almost every tackle, especially Drew Phillips today. Drew Phillips, our 3rd round pick in 2 games, and he's only played 2 games, has made more plays than I think every other defensive draft pick that the New York Giants had since Joe Shane has been in the building. It's crazy to me. So I think we got a player. Shout out to Omega. I've got another Omega in the building. Omega, a.k.a. Cappuccino. That's a heck of a name. He said Bowen is dripping with garbage juice. Yeah, he's definitely dumpster juice right now. He's covered in. He is saturated in dumpster juice. That's for sure. You call it garbage juice, I'm saying dumpster juice. you guys are knowing what I'm getting at. It is crazy right now the way I feel about Shane Bowen. I had some if I had any kind of optimism, it was for Shane Bowen coming in here, coming off of that tough Tennessee defense, getting here and helping us to stop the run. And another game where you cannot stop the run. That fourth and short, when Brian Robinson pretty much just leaned into the pile and shook loose, and then Jason Pinnock had to chase him 40 yards down the field. That is crazy to happen on the fourth and short. Like, what are we talking about here? You bring this guy in here to stop the run, has a history of stopping the run, but guess what? You don't have the same players as the Titans, the same type of players, I should say, that fit certain roles. You don't have that three technique. You don't have that D tackle that can line up next to Dexter Lawrence. As good as Chapman or Nunez might have played today, or DJ Davidson, which I don't think they did play well today. You don't have the recipe to make that kind of meal. And we're seeing it with Shane Bowen. But also Shane Bowen is not helping us either, because that soft shell, all they're doing, and if you're not getting pressure, all they're doing is getting into the open spot, finding that open lane, and the quarterback is throwing it right over the linebackers, but right in front of the secondary, and they're getting big plays on third down. And we can some kind of adjustment has to happen. Some type of adjustment has to happen. Let me get to some more of these comments. Mickey X says Malik the Freak. Yeah, he said he had a game. How many targets did he have? Like 11, 12 targets? Maybe even more than that. Think like, yeah, he's going to be the guy that you're going to have to throw the ball to a lot. The guy said, oh, Q Cox, shout out to Q Cox. He says, how did the D-line look this game? The D-line looked the same, Q Cox. We didn't stop the run. We didn't stop the run. Not well enough. There were some downs where we did do it, but just me and you, just me talking to you, Q Cox, nobody else was around. We didn't do good stopping the run. Not good enough, man. My man Jay Copeland says Theo Johnson ? Yeah, where is he? Where is he? And you got Bellinger on the bench. What are we doing here? Manhurts and Theo Johnson is the game plan, I guess. And again, this is after first watch. Maybe Bellinger was out here, but if he was out there, he wasn't making an impact. Trey Block says Commandos probably should have scored 35 plus, and the offense was playing not to lose. You think they should have scored 35 plus? I don't know. They had the chance to, didn't do it. Oh, I mean, I know what you mean. You mean if it wasn't for field goals? You're absolutely right. If they didn't settle for field goals, but again, the bend but don't break. That's that not break part of the bend but don't break. You give up the field goals. You didn't give up the touchdowns. The problem is with that, you got to score enough points on offense to be able to complement the bend but don't break. And again, in this game, you would think that 21 points could win you this game, but we couldn't even do it off of extra points. It's just crazy, man. A very Giants way to lose. My man, it was a G242. Marshall says Hyatt should punt return. I don't think so. He didn't do it in college, really. They did have him back there, I believe, last season and this season as far as in training camp. And if he was able to do it, he will most likely be back there. But no, instead they got actually who do they have back there fielding punts? Slayton, right? Oh, actually, they did punt once. I'm lying. They did punt once. I forget who we even had back there. Maybe that the guy we just picked up and signed, the Jersey native, was it Morset? I think might have been back there. I don't know. I got to go back and watch this game again. It said when Gano went down, I knew we'd lose by 3. Yo, is it Guido Seguru? I'm not going to lie. I felt the same way. As soon as I saw him down, I said, damn. As soon as Gano went down, I knew it, man. I had that feeling, man. Some things you can see coming a mile away. And yeah, that's one of the things that I thought about. As soon as he went down, I said, oh, man. Well, we can't kick field goals now. That's a fact. Joe 2 times says, waste of money on Burns. Should have kept Saquon. We win today with him. Listen, man, you could be right. We were effective in the running game, though. There wasn't any issue with the running game. We're able to run the game pretty well. Run the ball pretty well today. But I'm not going to doubt that Barkley is that type of playmaker. And maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't fumble the way that Devin Singletary did, but I can't cry over spilled milk. I can't do it. I won't do it. Says Singletary got 95 yards on the ground, plus the fumble hurt, but he came back and got us in position for our third touchdown. That's absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Sydney. Thank you for pointing that out. Cynthia Georgette is in the building. Cynthia says, I really thought our defense was our identity. What is going on with them? I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I know I have a finger to point though. I don't have an answer for you, but I have a finger to point, and it's pointing at Shane Bowen right now. That's a fact. Good Eats Entertainment. Shout out to Good Eats Entertainment with the super chat. Get that to pop up. He says, does DJ get benched next week? 0-8 season coming. The way that he played today, you can't bench him. You can't bench him. Like this game is not on Daniel Jones. As much as we could want it to be on Daniel Jones, he did what he could do. Listen, that first quarter, that first drive that the Commanders had was 10 minutes long. It was a 10-minute drive. You know, we can't have that. We have to have more possessions than that in order to put up some points. And we just couldn't do it. But shout out to Good Eats for the super chat, man. Thank you for the love and support. But this one, I can't point my finger at Daniel Jones for this one. As much as I would love to point my finger at Daniel Jones, I can't do it this week. We got enough games coming up that we'll be able to point the finger at him, no, for sure. Javi ATX says we are really going to get a first or get the first or second pick in the next draft. Yeah, it seems that way right now. But as long as the Carolina Panthers are playing, you know, because they are hard. We play bad, but they are horrible. The Panthers are horrible. And you know what? I don't even know if they won today, actually. So I'm saying this, but the Panthers to me are horrible. Somebody let me know if the Panthers won today. I don't even have my phone with me today right now to even check the scores. Okay. Ghetto says Cam Ward, here we come. And that's one of the names that's out there right now. He's doing a good job with Miami. Tone Blue, shout out to Tone Blue in the building. I'm not as mad about this game as I was last week. Absolutely. Last week I went through a roller coaster of emotions. I went from sad to depressed to laughing because I had to laugh to stop from crying. This week, at least we were competitive the whole game. For the most part, we were actually leading in this game. And then again, the Giants do what the Giants do. Lose by a freaking field goal, man. A freaking field goal, man. I hate it. And that's the soft zone did it too, because when they got the ball, when they took over, they were on like their own 25 or something like that. And it took one deep shot. Noah Brown in that soft zone by Shane Bowen, right behind the linebackers. Cordell Flock gets beat badly. Big play, flips the field on one play. They were already in field goal range from there. And after that, it was pretty much, what does the kicker need us to put it? We'll place it right where the kicker needs to put it. And that's what they did, line them right up. And then we got, we lost by field goal. Funny thing is, when I was watching that field goal kick, it looked like Dex got pressure and got his hand up, but just wasn't quite there, to knock that ball down. That would have been exciting, though, if we would have got that block. But, it is what it is. But I agree with you, Tone. I'm not as mad as I was last week. Artie Cooper says, he said, what offense are we doing? Or are we doing playing? Oh, I don't know. You got to write that again. What offense are we doing playing? Oh, so what offense are we playing? I got you. Heavy set 12 personnel for the most part. Throw the ball to neighbors, quick outs, hitches, crossing routes. That's what kind of offense we're running. We're not doing a lot of 3 wide receiver set. You barely saw Wan'Dale Robinson, but he did get a touchdown today. That was a great play call by Brian Dable on that. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see what else we got going on here. Mr. Burton says the troll. He says the trolls in the chat lurking heavy in here. Dash, yikes. There's some trolls in here. We got some trolls in here. Go ahead and snipe them. A. Rivera said, yo, Dash, what happened? We just talking about the loss? Or we talking about the chat? Is something going on in the chat I don't know about? Let me know. Somebody let me know something. Let me get down to the bottom of these comments and see if something's going on. I don't see anything. You guys let me know if you see something going on. Or are we just talking about the game? Maybe we talking about the game. I did get an update. Colin Redmond let me know that the Carolina Panthers did lose today, 26-3. Yeah, they thank you for letting me know that. I saw that. The Vikings won. The Vikings beat the 49ers. Or like, yeah, doesn't help me at all. Doesn't change the way that I feel ultimately. Yeah, they whooped the Vikings. I mean, they whooped the 49ers. Luz Ben said it too. Yeah, let's talk about how the Vikings whooped the 49ers. Yeah, they absolutely did. That was part of my parlay too. Let's just go say I won nothing. I won nothing today. Parlay ruined. He said, "Oh, Rocky Flash said, oh Rocky Fresh, sorry, Rocky Fresh says Panthers are going to take Travis Hunter out. You know what's crazy? It just depends on how much they believe in Bryce Young still. If they don't believe in Bryce Young, they probably go quarterback too, and then that means Travis Hunter is going somewhere else. And if we need a quarterback, then Travis Hunter's probably not getting drafted in the first 2 picks. But that's probably the best pound for pound player in the draft is Travis Hunter. I'll say that. Samuel Keir says, "What's up, Daz? What's up, Sam? What's up, Sam? How y'all doing?" Oh, Peterson says the Raiders won 2 again. I haven't watched any other games. I should have. I do have the YouTube set up, and I would like to go to the 4-game screen and something, but nah. When the Giants are playing, that's where my attention is focused at mainly. I am going to get off and watch this some of these afternoon games though, or some of the late games before we get into Sunday Night Football. We got going on here. So Trisha K says Big Dash, I hope we do better against the Browns next week. I hope we do too, man. The Browns are the Browns, man. The Browns are the Browns. Mr. Burton says, Dash, mind me up, family. I got you. You know what? Let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna give me a couple mods in here. Give me a couple mods in here. Won't want me to do it in this aspect, but I'm definitely going to have to get it set up where I can get some mods in here for sure. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? I got Big Mike with the $1.99 super chat. No comment. I guess he's just showing love. Shout out to Big Mike. All right, and I think I got everybody else as far as these super chats go. It is what it is. Let's get back to the comments. Yeah, man, but for me again, because like I said, I don't want to be sitting in here too long. Got 152 people, 147 in the building right now. Shout out to everybody showing love, showing support for the channel. But yeah, the Giants have a lot of things to clean up. Shane Bowen needs to go back to the drawing board, realize that the defense that he's calling does not fit the current players on this roster. He needs to draw up a defense when you have Tibbs and Burns on the outside that fits these guys. That's something that has to happen when it comes to Shane Bowen. Omega AKA Cappuccino with the $5 super chat. He says, I didn't like Bowen's demeanor in Hard Knocks. He just had that. He said, my former team is happy. I left look. I don't know what you mean by that. I left look. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't like his demeanor either, man. I didn't like his demeanor. Shout out to Omega, aka Cappuccino. All right, Raymond Rand says, if I can get to it, says, can't blame Malik. Defensively, we are horrible. Burns and Tibbs don't get no pressure. They didn't get any pressure. At least not enough pressure, I should say. Also, again, you know what? I have to walk that statement back. They did get pressure on Jaden Daniels. It's just that Jaden Daniels is a type of athlete that he was able to get away. Like, how many missed tackles did the New York Giants have today? How many missed tackles did they have on the quarterback? I mean, big sacks for loss. Pause. That one, the one missed sack by Micah McFadden, it was like a loss of like 14 yards. Like, you got to be able to bring down this rookie quarterback. You're not going to be able to hit him often, but when you get your hands on him, you got to bring him down, man. You got to bring him down. Shout out to Artie Cooper in the chat, man. Big Dash, great work, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm working hard for the people. We talking New York Giants football. I'm here for that, man. I'm here for that no matter what. And listen, there's some places I need to touch down too, man. I want to talk to some of these other Giants content creators to see how they feel about it. I want to get the temperature in the room. Are they feeling the same way that I'm feeling, and a lot of you guys are feeling in the chat? Are they feeling the same way where I'm pretty much over Bowen right now? This is 2 games against, well, we don't know actually who the Minnesota Vikings are now because they done beat us and now they beat the 49ers, so they actually might be pretty damn good. But like for us, man, like what's going on? You got to get off the field on 3rd down. That's football 101. Get off the field. Johnny Lovely, yeah, that's it, man. Bad luck just hovers around the Giants. Yeah, man, I understand how you. And guess what? And the man at the end of this comment, the way he just says, man, I feel that. I feel that. That's just that desperation at the end, man. Man said, get Big Breda back. Oh boy, back bowling bike. What? What's going on with that one? Peterson says, Dash, we definitely picking top 5. Yeah, it looks that way, man. It looks that way. I'm not going to argue against that at all. Drew GSP says, too many penalties on 3rd down. That's a fact, man. No matter how they get them, whether they convert on their own or convert via penalty, the New York Giants got to be able to get off the field on 3rd down without, that's just football 101 too. I see a Cowboys comment here. Does anyone believe we can beat the Cowgirls and the Eagles this season? As far as I know, the Cowboys got whooped today, right, by the Saints. Unless something else happened, they got whooped, didn't they? Am I mistaken? Again, I don't have my phone to check, man. Let me know in the chat. The Cowboys did lose today, right? I think so, right? G-Man 56 says, doing a great job, Big Dash. Nah, I appreciate that, man. You guys don't know how good it feels to have this many people in the building, showing love and support and for what I think, enjoying, me bringing this Giants content, man. There's a lot of us out here doing this. And for you guys to be hanging out with me right now, I'm humbled by it. I'm absolutely humbled by it. Bunch of good people in here, man. Bunch of good people in here. Said William Rodriguez says Dable is not going and should he said Dable is a going. I'm assuming is what you're saying, and should not get a pass. His decision making is not sitting well with me. Yeah, there's some mishaps there. There's absolutely some mishaps for sure. Colin Redmond says it was 44-19. Cowboys lost to Carr and the Saints, but we resigned Jones. Had to throw that jab in at the end. Had to twist the knife a little bit. I see what you're saying though, but yeah, that's big though. The Cowboys 44. Wow, put up 44 on the Cowboys. Good for them. Good for the Saints, man. We played the Saints too this year, so yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, but let's see, I got another comment here from Andre. Andre says, call it crazy, but we should have an extra kicker because we lost because of our defense, because we lost our kicker and we couldn't convert on 2-point conversions. No, you're absolutely right. We do have an extra kicker. He's on the practice squad. And this is when you look at Brian Dable, when you know that Gano is hurt, and you knew that on Friday, you allowed your kicker to tell you, yeah, I'll give it a go. Now, nobody knew. We can't tell the future as far as he will be running after the kick returner, 40, 50 yards down the field. Nobody saw that happening. But again, when Gano has a injury history, and if he's hurt, you got to make certain moves. You got to make certain moves for security reasons, and that's probably one of the moves that they should have made. And it doesn't make sense now, but I should say the hindsight is 2020, and you say you having an extra kicker is one thing, but the signs, the warnings were there. Gano's hurt, popped up on the injury report late. You got to make that kind of move, man. You got to make that kind of move. Shout out to my man Raekwon, a.k.a. Revis Island. He said, cut flat and every D tackle that's not Dex. I feel you. I feel you, man. I feel you. Jessa says, yo, long drive home to VA from FedEx. Listen, you were in the building, man. I'm going to ask you this question since you were in the building. Everybody stayed in their seats too. Nobody left early. I'm assuming at the end of that game. So and I'll ask you this, Jason. This is just for you, man. Like, did you enjoy the game? Did you actually enjoy being there? Did you enjoy watching that live? Because I mean, me on my couch, I actually enjoyed watching this game. Again, I saw some good things. There were some things that made me want to throw my remote at the television, but overall, the offense did better. The offensive line did a good job against a quote unquote stout defensive line or defensive interior line for the Commanders. JMS, I call JMS my son. He had a good game today. He was able to hold his blocks, get to the second level on occasions. He did some things on a couple of runs that we broke. He had some key blocks in that. So there are some, I guess, bright spots to this game. I'll shout out a couple people right now. First on that list is going to be Malik Neighbors. Shout out to Malik Neighbors, even though he had the bad drop at the end, he had a good game. And Andrew Phillips, tackles for losses, tackles in general. Did he get a sack? I think he got a sack too. Andrew Phillips, fantastic game. Bob Okereke had a pretty good game as well too. On a but outside of that, it was a good team effort on the offensive side. But again, when it comes to this defense, man, we cannot win games playing the way that this defense is playing. That's for sure. But let me know if you enjoyed that game, Jessa. All right, JBX says, what do you say? Big Dash, I always wait 5 weeks into the season to get a sense of how the Giants pair up in the league. You think you need 5 weeks for real? You think you need 5 weeks? I don't think it takes 5 weeks, but to each his own. Who knows? I tell you what, though, at the end of these 5 weeks, with the teams that we're playing and have played already, we'll know for sure. We'll know for sure. We'll know for sure. Okay, Jessica said, I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed our offense moving the ball. Listen, also, that's real dangerous, man. You said you were leaving VA, leaving FedEx. Hopefully you're not driving and commenting at the same time. Maybe you're taking the train back or something like that. Put the phone down. Just listen if you're driving right now. I don't need you, getting into trouble, trying to comment here. Safety first, brother. Safety first. Okay. All right. He said, Mark says, rolling with your dash, making me feel just a little bit better after the loss. Keep up the good work. New York Giants forever, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that I can make the blow a little bit lighter for you guys too. If you guys feel like the delivery is that way. I appreciate that. Again, I always look for the positive, but when I see something that I don't like, I will absolutely say it. I might throw a little bit of humor on it, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it 100% real with the people that are in the building, tuned in and supporting, the channel. I will keep it real. I am optimistic. You guys know that. I tend to lean, towards the glass being half full instead of half empty, and that's just my style. That's just the way I roll, man. I've seen a lot of Giants football in my life. I've seen a lot of bad Giants football in my life too, but that's just my personality, man. I don't like to get too down. I don't like to get into that dark place, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, Jessica said, I'm glad you're clarifying. He said the Tesla voice chat. There you go. I'm glad you're on 10 and 2. You got your eyes on the road, but you're able to also communicate with the community in the comment section, man. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. See what else we got going on here. All right. So again, like I said, I want to see these afternoon games. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out. But I want to say this, man. Not the way that we wanted it to, not the way that we wanted it to happen, right? The first 2 weeks of the season. The New York Giants are 0-2, and it does seem pretty grim when we're looking at the rest of the season. For me though, again, I didn't have high expectations going into this season. My only hope was that a lot of the young guys get a chance to develop, and we are seeing that, especially with this draft class. Pretty much everybody outside of Jalen Hyatt right now, who's in the doghouse. But ultimately, do I think the New York Giants can build off of this loss? I don't know. And I wish I can be more, I guess, more assertive in the way that I'm coming right now. But pause. But I really don't know how they build off of this loss. There was some good. I'll say that there was some good. But when I look at this defense, does Shane Bowen make it through the season? That's the point where I'm at right now. Does Shane Bowen make it through the season with this type of defense being called? because I can't say that we don't have some players on defense, because I do think we have some names on defense. We should be playing a lot better than what we're playing right now. The other thing is very hard to try to rip up the type of scheme that you have right now. So that's maybe the one thing outside of just being 2 games with Shane Bowen. But the defense has to turn it around. I will say this: the offense looked a lot better than they did last week against the Minnesota Vikings. And again, I think also this was always going to be like a lose-lose situation with the Commanders. If we would have beat the Commanders, people would have been like, it's just the Commanders though. And I felt the same way. I told everybody that it would have taken more than the Commanders game for me to get right or feel right about this team. But it was still a lose-lose situation. But I will say this: the way that we lost, I think, takes a little bit of heat off of the regime, takes a little bit of heat off of Shane, takes a little bit of heat off of Dable, just a little bit. But a lot of people are going to be focusing on that defense, man. And I could be absolutely wrong. This is just my opinion right here. But Twist says, I like the way DJ was trusting his line and maneuvering in the pocket. If he can do that going forward, we can win games if the defense pulls it together. Yeah, man. That's the hope right there. Shout out to Twist, man. That's the hope right there for me. Because I think the offense can build off of this game. I think the defense needs to go back to the drawing board, and Shane Bowen needs to, I don't know, he needs to do what football coaches do: get it done by any means necessary. By any means necessary. Drew says we got no DBs. Yeah. I mean, Banks had an okay game. Banks had an okay game, better than last week, I would say. Again, this is off the initial watch. I'll probably watch that game again tonight before I go to bed. But other than that, man, I need to look at this game again. What Brian Dable say last week, and I need to go back and watch the tape. I need to watch the tape. Every question the answer is I need to go back and watch the film. For me, before I make a definitive, I guess, point on this team, I'll say, let me go back and watch the tape, man. Let me go back and watch the film. Now we got Drew for sure. Twist says we got Drew. Yeah, Drew Phillips is showing that we made the right pick right now. If he continues to play the way that he's playing, and he is lights out, man. And he said that he's tough and he doesn't fear anybody. And you saw it today. He was throwing his body everywhere, man. That one play, the one play on Brian Robinson where he got the big stop on Robinson, he just hit Robinson like no fear in his heart. We got a dog when it comes to Drew Phillips. We got a dog in Tyler Nubin too. So hopefully the rest of the team can feed off of this energy. He said Banks got cooked. Hold on. Drew said Banks got cooked by Terry. Besides Phillips, we need another stud. Terry got that one big play, right? That was it. Terry didn't do a lot. I mean, but it is what it is. He did. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still Terry McLaurin too. Let's not get that confused. It is Terry McLaurin at the end of the day. But Banks is a second-year cornerback forced into the CB1 position, and then it is what it is. But man, I'm really gonna get out of here. I want to go back and watch this. The Steelers game. That's my wife's team. For y'all that know, my wife is a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I want to get out and watch this game. So with that being said, I want to make sure I don't miss anything else, miss any super chats. I didn't miss anything else. So hold on. I got one more comment. It's about Pinnock. What you say about Pinnock? Jason Pinnock did good as well. He did do good. He got to wrap up though. It was a big tackle that he missed, if I'm not mistaken. He got to wrap up. He got to make sure he wraps up, man. But no, I would say he had a good game as well. But again, this defense that bend but don't break. You can only play to the scheme that the coach is calling. And I just think that right now we need to be a lot more aggressive. And he did send the blitz a lot more than he did last week. But again, I think that's the weak spot for the New York Giants right now. Despite the whole conversation about Daniel Jones going into this season, right now after 2 games, the weakest link on this team is the defense. I will say that. But that's going to be it, man. I'm going to wrap this up and get up out of here so I can watch these games, man. But I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And for one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.